welcome to my studio. I hope I'm live. I think I probably am. I'm still getting the hang of it. So if anybody is watching, please let me know in the chat. That would be really, really handy. Now, this is just going to be a nice, relaxed painting session. I haven't really done any preparation or any practice. I've just got some bits and pieces together. So if you want to join in, you just need some watercolour paper or a sketchbook. I'm using my Sennelier watercolours this evening, but any watercolours will do. And I've got some scrap paper because I'm going to practice some leaves before I start the wreath. I have got... Hi Cynthia, thank you for joining. I'm so pleased you're here. I've got some Daler and Rowney sepia ink. I've also got some walnut drawing ink. I've got some Winsor & Newton gold ink, which I haven't used probably since last Christmas. So as you can see, it's sort of separated in the bottom and all the pigments down here. So maybe before I'd started my live, I should have given this bottle a little shake up. There we go. Soon comes back to life. So I might use some gold as we're doing Christmassy stuff. I've got some Kuretake starry colours with lots of different shades of glittery gold. And there's even like a pearly white down there. These are lovely paints for Christmassy paintings. What else have I got? I've got Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, which is like a thick white gouache, I think. I don't know if we'll need it. Might do, might not. I've got some sepia micron pens. And I particularly like this one. This pack comes with a brush pen in sepia. So you could draw your twigs with that maybe. You don't need ink. All you really need is watercolour. I might leave that pen out just in case I need it. What else have I got in my little stash? I've got this. It's like a piece of bamboo, but it's used for dipping into ink. And you can write with it or make shapes, make marks. Hi Linda, nice to see you. So pleased you could join me. I'm just waffling through the materials that I might be using this evening. I've got my trusty HB sketching pencil. This is so old, but I love it. It goes everywhere with me. I've got my white Posca pen. This is a 0.7 millimeters. This is good for if you do paintings of animals and you want to put like catch lights in their eyes, you can do that quite nicely using a pen. And then I've got a really technical piece of equipment here. This is a cotton bud. And I thought what we could do with this is dip it in the ink or in the watercolour, and you can make like round circles for berries or little gold dots. So they come in quite handy. Have I told you about this paper? This is the paper I'm going to be using this evening. This is a square block. Don't know if that fits in the camera or not. This is arch, and this is 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. Hello Lisa, all the way from Phoenix in Arizona. Wow, I bet the weather is a little bit different to here in the UK. It's heading towards minus temperatures here this evening and very chilly. Let me know what the temperature's like in your neck of the woods, and if you want to share, let me know where you're watching this from. So we've got Lisa from Phoenix, Linda, Cynthia, I think you're US as well. Let me know in the comments. So those are all my art materials. You don't need all of this, but if you want to join in, grab a sketchbook or grab a piece of paper. I did this watercolour wreath last year. I was on holiday in a caravan with my travel kit, and I thought I would just have a little play. And I think these are either the Starry Colours or they're the Winsor & Newton ink. It's not great, but I had great fun painting it, and that is what I'm going to be doing tonight. Just having some fun, sharing a relaxed painting session with you. It's not a tutorial. I'm not a teacher. I just enjoy sharing my art materials and hopefully get you into the festive spirit. Right, I'm just reading the comments as well. So, Linda, you're in DC. Lisa says it's in the 70s today. Yeah, I think that's hot. I think that's hot. It's different temperatures here. I think we work in Celsius, whereas you may be in Fahrenheit. I'm not sure. Yes, looking at Cynthia's comments. So, yeah, hot and sunny for you. Lucky you. We've got the heating on. And I've got a cup of tea here. And I've put the lid on to keep it hot. So, hot tea. Decaf, sadly. Otherwise, I'll be awake all night. But I need something to wet my whistle. Right, okay. Is anybody joining in this evening, or are you just going to have a relaxed evening with me? Or afternoon if you're in America. I think you're behind by several hours. Scrap paper. Don't know if I mentioned scrap paper because I'm going to practice some leaves whilst my twiggy leaf dries. I've got a mixing palette. I've got some kitchen roll. I don't know if I can turn you around actually. I've got my notes here as well. Let me just turn you around so you can see the rest of my desk. So I've got a pot of clean water here and a selection of paintbrushes and my notes to try and keep me on track, because I'll just waffle on and won't actually get much done. So I hope you don't mind me waffling. Okay, I'm so excited that I've got all these lovely people joining me from the US. Have I got anyone here from England? Let me know if you're from the UK. But thank you to all my American supporters. I can't tell you how grateful I am. Right, if any of you watched my, I can't remember which video it was, maybe not the last one, maybe the one before that, I can't remember, but a previous video, I visited a lovely place called Stourhead. I collected some leaves because I thought they might come in handy as sort of reference leaves, if that makes sense. So this one's from a yew tree, which looks quite sort of wreath-like. Ivy. This is an ivy as well. And a very flat holly leaf. So I've sort of got those as reference a little bit. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, once I start painting, I'll forget all about these and just make my own leaves up as I go along. So I'll leave those there, like so. They might inspire me. Okay, shall we get started? Shall I stop waffling and get started? Right, so make sure you can see what's going on. Oh, hi Graham. You're from the UK and you're downstairs. Graham is my husband. So thank you for your support, Graham. What temperature is it here in the UK? Let me know. Okay, so first of all, on my square piece of paper, I have got something round. This is actually a coaster from my coffee cup. So I thought that would fit on quite nicely into the middle of my paper. So roughly in the middle, I'm sort of trying to look around the camera at the same time. So a little bit awkward. So forgive me if you get a section of my hair in the camera or I obscure it in some way. Okay, so that's quite a nice circle. It's just a little guideline to put the twigs around. Now, a little tip for any non-artists out there or any beginners is this is a piece of blue tack. I don't know if you've got blue tack in America, but this is quite good if you're doing a drawing and then you're going to paint over the top. You don't really want to see the pencil lines through it. So what this actually does, if your pencil lines go too dark, you can lift it off with the blue tack. You can also get a kneadable eraser. This one's by Faber-Castell. Pretty much does the same thing. So you can lift your pencil line. So in doing this, I'm probably bouncing the camera up and down, but that's my top tip. Okay. Now then, what am I going to go in with first? I don't know whether to go in with this ink or whether to go in with the dipping ink. This is an acrylic one, so this can be quite heavy and it can take quite a while to dry. Let me just show you on a scrap piece of paper. These are the marks that I made yesterday. I'm doing my next video for Sunday evening if anyone's interested. I downloaded the video this afternoon and it's called Beach Finds. But I was practicing on this piece of paper yesterday. Let me turn it over. In fact, I'm just going to move this arch paper out of the way because it's quite expensive paper to mess up. Oh, I think... Hi, Holly Rose. Thank you for joining me. Holly Rose is my niece. I'm sure she's pleased that I've told you all that. Okay, so this ink is like on a dropper and you can just make marks like this. And they're lovely just to play with. And so I was going to do my outer circle with this, you know, make that sort of twiggy, rustic look. So I've got to decide whether I'm going to use that or my dipping ink. This is walnut drawing ink, Tom Norton's. I have put all of this description in the, all of the materials in the description below. Here we go. So you dip in your dippy thing. This is a piece of bamboo. And you can draw on your ink. And I think I like this one better. It's a bit lighter. Like so. So I think I'm going to use that one. So my husband tells me that it's -2 this evening And so it's early evening here, so it will go down lower than that overnight. And up north of the UK, there's been snow. We rarely get snow down here. We're in the southwest. Yeah, this bamboo pen is cool, Cynthia. I think I saw an artist called Diane Anton use this once and thought, wow, I've got to give that a go. I can't remember where I got it from. I mean, you could use a piece of bamboo out of the garden, or you could even use a twig. It's just good fun to make marks with it. So I think I'm going to go with the walnut drawing ink and let that dry. Let's move that out of the way. Don't want to put my hand in it. Okay. If I suddenly go quiet, it's not because I've run out of things to say. I can talk for England. It's because I'm concentrating. So I am going to do a twiggy circle. So dipping in the ink, trying not to put my arm and hand in the camera because I don't want you not seeing what I'm doing. So this isn't going to be wonderfully correct. I'm just sort of building the outer bit of the wreath. And on the little bits that are sticking out, the little spiky bits, the branches, I'll probably put berries on. I'm going to turn the page around as I go. I hope you can't hear me breathing in the camera. Nobody needs to hear that, do they? Try not to make it look too uniform. Just taking my time. There's no rush. Oh, Linda, you're at 64, which is 17 in England. That's, yeah, that's like a nice warm, I was going to say autumn day, but that's more like summer for us over here. There we go. So I haven't joined the circle up. I've left it quite gappy. I'm looking for a bit of kitchen roll now. There we go. So I'm just going to let that dry. Whilst I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to put some little brown berries on. Keep having to be mindful of making sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, oh, I've dipped that in quite a long way. That's okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Where did that come from? A-team, right? I used to love the A-team. Okay. I don't want to do overkill on the little brown berries. I'm going back in with my dippy pen again. Sometimes when you stand back and have a little peruse, you might decide to change things, add things on. Okay, I'm going to stop with the brownness because I'm just going to put too many on there because we've got some red berries to go on later. Hi Alison, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'm getting myself in a bit of a mess here, so I'm just wiping the ink off the bamboo. Okay, I'm just going to wait for that to dry. Give it just a few minutes, and I think I'm going to, whilst that's drying, I'm going to put it to one side because I'm just going to practice some leaves on this scrap piece of paper. But first of all, I'm just going to check my tea. I need to have a slurp of my tea. I got through the last live and my tea went cold. Right, so paints, let's turn those around so you can see. Like I say, I'm using the Sennelier paints this evening. And I'm going to practice doing some leaves. So first of all, we need to mix up some paint because I've only got 2 greens in this palette. So I'm just spraying them with a mister bottle to wake them up. You don't have to do this, but that's the way I like to wake up my watercolours. Okay, so I've only got 2 greens in this palette. Actually, I've just lied. I think that's green. Yeah, that's quite a deep green. I don't necessarily want them in the colours that they come in, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to mix up some greens. So I've got quite a light green there. And I don't know if you've used Sennelier paints before. If you've used Sennelier paints before, let me know in the comments and let me know how you find them. But I love these paints. They're very thick and vibrant, and I think they're made in France and they've got honey in them. And I was first introduced to these by an artist called Billy Scholl, who was a botanical artist, an amazing botanical artist. And I did a couple of her classes and she used Sennelier paint. And yeah, I sort of fell in love with them then. So there's my green. So I've got a light green, a mid green and a dark green. I'm just going to put some yellow up here. I'm just going to take I've got Payne's grey. Yeah, I've got Payne's grey too. Oh, there we go. I just love mixing the colours, having a play around. That's quite dark. But I like it. This one's a lighter one. It's quite an apple green. What have we got here? That one. See, that's too bright. I'm not going for realistic, but that is just too bright. So, a little bit of grey. That's it. Tone it down. There we go. Sometimes it's just nice to just play with your colours and just see what they do by adding more water, getting different consistencies, mixing in different colours. Okay, so those are the greens. Now, what leaf shapes can we do? Just checking on my ink, that's drying nicely. I need to have another slurp of my tea. Okay, so this one's quite a nice easy one. Oh, that's not good. I put my teacup down. Very nearly put my paintbrush in it, which for people that have watched me before know that is quite a regular occurrence for me. It's not the first time I've done that. And I've got a friend that finds that particularly amusing. And I think he's watching now. So that was for you, Nick. Okay, so I'm not going to draw anything. I'm just going to use my brush to make the patterns, the shapes of the leaves. I'm not going to get too precious. What other shapes can we have? This is really quite hard because I'm trying to look around the camera. Oh, that's a bit clumsy. I'm trying to look around the camera and paint at the same time. Maybe if I stop talking and concentrated. Right, let's go with a holly leaf, shall we? Everything's drying so quickly up here in the studio because the heating's been on. So it gets quite warm up here. Some artists are very clever at painting leaves. They will literally get their brush and they'll just dip it in and they'll go like that and push it down and create a leaf. Hang on, let me just see if I can do it. I've challenged myself now. So they literally go in and lift up. No, that doesn't work for me. I probably haven't got the right brush, have I? That's my excuse anyway, I'm sticking to that. Failing that. I'll just do it my way. And we can do some tiny leaves. I'm just reading your comments, Cynthia. So you don't have holly there? Ah, you have a native Californian plant with red berries. Wow. So it's pronounced toyon? Yeah, wow. I'd love to see a picture of that. I might look it up. Okay, so these leaves aren't perfect by any means. Right, okay. I'm none the wiser here. Practicing leaves, none the wiser. I think I'm just going to go for it. Quite like that colour. So that's that one. Oh. And that one. Right, where can I put my testers? Now, my ink has dried. Fabulous. Now, I'm going with I might go with my size 3 brush. Again, I'm using the Betty Hayways brushes. They're from the Chelsea Paper Company. They're by far my favourite brushes at the moment. They do come to quite a nice point. Okay. Now, I am just having a little think. You might hear the brain cogs going around. I might end up putting more brown twiggy things on. I'll see how I go. And so I'm going on with, I'm painting on this mixture of green, and then I'm taking the darker green down here and just boop in the bottom there and just let it run. And I'm just going to make my way around, I think. Just taking the time. Oh, now I've just dropped a big globule of water in there, so I'm just tapping off my brush on the kitchen towel, and I'm going back in with a dry brush and I'm just soaking it back up. Soaking it back up and not panicking. So we're the third week in November, and I don't know about you, but I'm resisting Christmas this year, at least until the beginning of December. I don't like us to wish away the seasons, and before Halloween was even over here, I noticed in the shops they were already promoting Christmas adverts on the TV. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with some bigger leaves. Just normal, I say normal, just, you know, normal leaf shapes. Sorry, I've just sighed down the camera. Oh, thank you, Linda. That's exactly what I want. It's not really a tutorial or, you know, teaching you anything. I want people just to have a nice, calm space. I want to be in a artist bubble where everything's lovely and calm, and I hope this video is bringing you some sort of relaxation and joy, and that really does make my day. That's why I create my videos. It's to spread some joy into the world. Thank you for the love hearts. I love it. I'm not here to create a masterpiece. I'm just here to enjoy. Spread some love. I hope wherever you are too, you're, depending on the temperature of course, you're warm, you're comfortable, you've got a nice drink. If you're in California, iced tea. If you're somewhere colder, hot tea. Cynthia, I'm not ready for Christmas either. I don't want to be ready for Christmas. I just want to enjoy this season. I don't want to be rushed into Christmas. It's too hectic nowadays. It's too commercialised. I think we need to remember what Christmas is all about. And yes, I do still believe in Father Christmas. or Santa Claus? Of course I do. I think my favourite film is, it's not Santa Claus the movie. I can't remember what it's called. But that's got the real Father Christmas in it, just so you know. Okay, how's this shaping up, do you think? Shall I try something else? What about some nice red flowers? Or some... I'm going to try and do this stuff around the outside. So let's mix a darker green. So I'm going to stick with this one, and I'm going to put some Payne's Grey in. Pardon me. That T is not going down. Right. How's that for a colour? That colour for that. Lovely. Thanks, Linda. Thank you, Cynthia, as well. I so appreciate you being here. My subscribers are building slowly. I'm just trying to remain authentic, remain true to myself, remember why I started my channel. And it makes all the difference when I've got lovely followers that are so encouraging. Right. Now I've got this in my hand and I've got the paint on my brush and I don't know where to go with it. Okay, I'm going to be brave. Let's be brave without putting my hand in the paint. Okay, I'm going to turn this around and I think I'm going to come in here. Okay, and I'm going to do the stalk. And then I'm just going to do a series of brush strokes. That's not dark enough for me. I'm going to go darker again. I might regret this. Okay. And round we go again. Okay, so I'm going to go from here, stalk. You probably can't see a lot because my arm's in the way. And just a series of brush strokes. And round we go again. So my video this week, coming out Sunday evening, so UK time 6 o'clock, is all about time that I've spent on the beach with Audrey and my husband, and being on the beach on a bright sunny day but in cold autumn, and the crashing of the waves and the sunshine on the sea is just so inspiring. and calming, and I love hunting for treasures. And I find all sorts of things on my beach walks. I find lots of different shells. Beach glass are the best, is the best find. Crab claws, crabs. Sadly, I found a dolphin in the summer that had washed up on shore. It was a really, really sad sight to see the dolphin. I didn't include the dolphin in my video, you'll be pleased to know. But it's all about all the things I find on the beach and bring them back to the studio and paint them in my journal. So if you want a nice relaxing video on Sunday evening, then head over to Purple Ladybird Art and you'll find me. And if any of you do paint your own wreath, or whether you've joined in this evening, do let me know in the comments, because it really makes my heart sing to think I may have encouraged you to pick up your paintbrush or inspired you to do some Christmas art. Right, I think I'm going to fit another one in here. This is quite delicate for me, more delicate than I sort of planned, but I like it. I like it, and that's all that matters. Okay, so I'm just gradually building the foliage as I go round. Shall I put some red berries on? Ah, so Cynthia, you're swatching at the moment. Oh, you know I love swatching. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm glad you're enjoying the video. I love swatching and just playing with paints. Most of my videos have swatching in. Okay, it's quite a delicate wreath. I'm thinking about what else I can put in there. I think I might put some little red flowers on there, but first of all, I think I might need places to put the flowers. I'm going to put one there, put one there. Such a quandary I've put myself in. So I'm just adding some more brown ink with my bamboo pen, bamboo dipping pen. The only thing is, I don't want to overdo it. But you know, can you overdo it? Probably. It's a shame YouTube doesn't have a facility where you can share your pictures with me. That would be really cool if they had, like, on maybe the community page, a bit where you could share your pictures. That would be absolutely brilliant. Right, red flowers. Red flowers. Let's do a simple, like, simple buds maybe. Let me just have a quick experiment. Okay, red. Oh, where's my swatchy page? So I've got a nice red here. It's sadly this camera doesn't give you much room, so you can't actually see what I'm doing. But I'm just testing out the red. So I want that colour red, and I'm going to go with a darker red. I don't quite know why at the moment. Okay, red flowers. Does that look like a flower? Good, it's only an impression. Not really, that just looks like a splodge to me. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking it, so I'm not going to do it. How's that sound? I'm not liking it, I'm not going to do it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with some red berries. So I'm going to get my cotton bud. And I'm going to get a bit more paint. A bit frugal with the old paint there. Oh, I don't know if I like that deep red. I'm going to dump some water in there. And I'm going to get my cotton bud. Pick up some of the paint. Let's see if... Oh, look at that. Perfect. Gives it a pop of colour. I need a... Okay, don't overdo the red. I think that's about enough red. What do you reckon? Another one up there. Okay, that's enough with the red. Let's go with some gold. Now, shall I use some ink? Yeah, Linda, I thought that actually, that red really does pop, doesn't it? And I've just seen where I want another pop. There you go, just for you. That one was just for you, Linda. Okay. I'm getting silly now, aren't I? Just going mad. Right, now I'm going to pop this open. Winsor & Newton ink. Linda agrees. I'm going over the top. So giving it a shake up. There we go. Now, the lid is a bit, oh, ouchy. That was my knuckle that's just cracked. It's quite liquid. Can you see that? Liquid gold. It's just so shimmery. So I'm going to dip my Q-tip, I think you call these in America. I'm going to dip my earbud in there. Cotton bud, should I say. There we go, dab off some of the gold. Right, this might be a bit splodgy. Okay, so I'm going to go careful. I'm going to go careful. Let's add some up here. Oh. Well, this is quite delicate for me. Delicate piece. There we go. I think I'm done. So lid back on. I might do some sort of swirly bits. I wonder if I could use that, my bamboo. Well, I don't know what I'm doing here. I just feel inspired to dip my pen. Hang on, I'm going to give this another shake because it seems to be separating. I'm not going to use my pen, I'm going to use a paintbrush. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have another slurp of tea. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my brush, and I'm going to get my scrap piece of paper. I'm going to dip that straight into the gold. You can never have enough to gold, right? I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to go for it. Just looking for any sort of little gaps where I can do some embellishment. Got to be careful now not to put my hand in the gold, because I don't want that to be a thing. Sort of looking for gaps, thinking too hard. I think in hindsight the starry colours would have been better to use. Right, let's close this gap here. Because this gold ink is separating. Right, I think I'm done. That's sort of drawing to a close. It's turned out to be quite a delicate wreath, using walnut brown ink, Winsor and Newton gold ink, my bamboo pen and my Sennelier watercolours. I hope you've enjoyed this evening joining me to do this Christmas wreath. I hope you feel a little bit festive. I wish you all well. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you've liked this live, then please give me a like. Please leave me a comment below. I will put this video up on my channel, so if you weren't able to join us, you'll be able to see it, and I will link in the description below all the materials I've used. Thank you so much to all my lovely subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you again soon. And Lisa, before I go, you remember the A-team? Fab. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm delirious. Thank you very much. See you again soon. Bye.